the faith.
Right in front.
Let us know when.
We're ready. All right.
I state your name. I, solemnly swear that I will support and defend Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance, to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
Would like to join us at your seat, Diet, after receiving your file. Now we have the honor of swearing in Trustee Kumar. Dr. Thompson will be swearing in Trustee Kumar.
Again, okay, please raise your hand. I state your name,
I, Shruti Kumar,
solemnly swear that I will support
solemnly swear that I will support
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United
and
States
the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or a purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations. And then and you can see the front and center.
Okay. Join us. Okay, and we are now going to recess until 5:30 for reception in honor of our new trustees. Food is provided by our own New Haven Unified School District Food Services team. So let's thank them. Please do join us out in the tech area for a reception, and then we will convene closed session at 5:30. Okay. The board will now convene to close session. Are there any speakers related to closed session topic?
There are no speakers.
There being no speakers, we will go to closed session.
It's on. It's. Do we have preferences? Oh, boy.
What are these side lights here? Not being on. I mean, that's nice. Yeah,
All right,
everyone should be able to see.
I can actually see.
Yeah, they turned them on.
Okay.
Well, now I can't see them, but put it into play. Yeah. Okay. Use this first.
Right here. The agenda on it. Sometimes your computer turns off. And my friend now. So save it under E or like password and go ahead and stop it. So
The board will now convene open session and report out from closed session. If you are joining us online via the Zoom webinar and you would like to provide public comment for this meeting, you may do so by utilizing the raise your hand function on Zoom. If you are joining us by phone, you can press *9 and wait to be called on. If you are joining us in person, you may fill out a blue card at the front table there and bring it to Ms. Valdez over here. Community members may also still provide public comments to the board prior to each meeting via email at publiccomment@nhusd.k12.ca.us. There were no comments provided to the board for tonight's meeting via the public comment email address. I would like to remind the public that we will not be responding to questions posed by those making public comments. Relative to closed session items number 3.1 through 3.6, there was no action taken by the board. And I'd like to now turn it over to our Vice President Gonzalez to lead the next section.
okay, we can rise for the pledge of allegiance. Flag, right hand over the heart, ready to begin. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a roll call, please?
Goodman.
Here.
Khan.
Here.
Buffet.
Yeah.
Nishihira.
Here.
Kumar.
Yeah.
Gonzalez.
Here.
Schmidt-Mallory.
Here,
May I have a motion and a second to approve tonight's agenda?
so moved.
Second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, pass unanimous. All right, land acknowledgement. Okay, this is, land acknowledgement, this is, section 5.4. Okay, we want to open up this meeting by acknowledging with respect and love that the land we are on today is the traditional ancestral homeland of the Ohlone Trustenial First People. We recognize and thank the Ohlone people as the original stewards of this land. Indigenous people must not be spoken about in the past context as if they left on their own accord when the real causes were white supremacy, manifest destiny, and U.S. colonization. By recognizing we stand on the occupied indigenous territory of the Ohlone people, we recommit ourselves to listen to Native leadership and stand in solidarity with people struggling against systems of oppression throughout the world, past and present. Did I go over 5.3? I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay,
Yes.
we're ready. Okay. So I will go ahead and turn this back over to the president. Twin Mallory, thank you.
Thank you very much. So for everyone in attendance, this is our annual organization meeting. So we will go to election of board officers as we welcome our two new trustees who were sworn in tonight, trustee Rafe, wave maybe, okay, and trustee Kumar. So normally this would be public comment time, but it will be delayed a little bit while we elect our new officers and do our committee assignments. So our first order of business is to elect a board president. Are there any nominations? I would like to nominate trustee Nishihira.
I accept the nomination.
Great, may I have a motion and a second to affirm?
So moved.
I second. Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Are there any abstentions? At this point, our new president, President Nishihira, will take over the meeting.
Okay, before President Twin Mallory leaves, we just want to honor her with our President Board of Education 2022. So congratulations, Steve.
Oh, here we go. Do it again for the solo.
Reenact. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome. All right. Now we shall shuffle. Excuse me.
Okay.
Back over front. Yeah. All right. All right. Okay, at this time, we're going to start accepting nominations for vice president. Do we have any nominations for vice president?
I would like to nominate trustee Kumar for vice president.
Okay, are there any other nominations?
You accept? I accept. Okay.
Okay, may I have a motion and a second to affirm trustee Kumar as vice president?
So moved.
Seconded.
Discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, motion carries. All right, now we will elect our board clerk. Okay, are there any nominations for board clerk?
Am I doing all of them tonight? I would like to nominate trustee Gonzalez for clerk.
I accept.
Second.
Okay, are there any other nominations for clerk? All right. We have a motion and a second to affirm trustee Gonzalez as board clerk.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Okay, all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. Okay, now we are going to move on to item 6.2, appointments to standing committees and board representatives to other agencies. Why don't we do it this way? Let's go from the top down, and we can start identifying and answering any questions that anyone might have about the positions. Oh, okay. So it is apparently in the folder that everybody has.
Oh, I left my folder.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So the first position is for the Alameda County School Boards Association. Currently, trustee Schwinn Mallory serves as the active representative, and trustee Canlis was the alternate. The question I have is, trustee Mallory, Schwinn Mallory, you are also the active secretary, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so would you like to remain the representative for New Haven on ASPA?
Yes.
Okay, great. We will then need to offer up a volunteer for the alternate. Do we have any volunteers?
If nobody wants to do it all.
Okay. All right, so trustee Gonzalez. And they meet your help every third Thursday on every month at 6 p.m. More or less, it's in the Hayward San Leandro area.
Yeah, it's actually pretty much quarterly.
Oh, quarterly.
Yeah, our next meeting isn't until February.
In person.
Yes, it'll be in person this time.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Board of Education City Council. There's nothing to do there. That's just the board clerk and the board president. California Interscholastic Federation North Coast Section. Currently, I am the board representative. I have no problem remaining in that capacity unless anybody else wants to take it. Okay. I will remain there. And then MBROP is a 2-year term ending in 2022. It's a 2-year commitment. Previously, trustee Chima served as the board representative, and trustee Schwinn Mallory served as the alternate. Does anybody want to? Oh, looks like I have trustee Buffet. Okay. Does anybody else have any interest in the position? Okay. All right. So let's. We're going to need an alternate for that. Currently, it's trustee Schwinn Mallory. Would you want to remain the alternate?
I am unable to attend the meetings
Okay.
during the day.
So that's at 3:30. Okay. Is anybody else able to be the alternate? Trustee Mallory, have you ever had to serve in that capacity during that time? 3:30. I can be the alternate if anybody has any objections. Okay, next is New Haven Schools Foundation. It's a 1-year term. Currently, I have been on the Schools Foundation, and I've done it for a while. I was on the foundation before I was on the board. Does anybody else have any interest in it? Okay, member Kumar, trustee Kumar. So, does anybody have any interest in being the alternate?
I can be the alternate.
Okay. Trustee. Okay, the next is Special Education Local Plan Area, the SELPA. Currently, trustee Gonzalez serves as the board representative, and trustee Sean Mallory serves as the alternate. Is there any, is that fine keeping it as is?
No, I was a alternate actually last year.
Okay.
Trustee Gma had a step down, that's why
Oh,
it
gotcha.
updated. But it's just, I was able to do it my first year because we were during the pandemic and we were on Zoom.
Mhm.
So this year, extremely difficult to miss a day of work.
Got it. Okay, and these are at Fremont Unified School District Central Meeting Room at 3 p.m. Looks like there are 2 remaining for this year. Is that correct? That's March 14th and June 13th. That's correct. That's right.
And they sometimes, we've had them at 9 o'clock in the morning, we've had them at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's definitely during the workday.
I can do that.
Okay. So we have trustee Rapid. Okay, is anybody able to be the alternate? Okay, seeing nobody, I can be the alternate there. There's only 2 days, and that's only if trustee Rapid can't make it. Okay, Union City Youth Violence Prevention Advisory Committee. Currently, I am the representative, and trustee Canlis was the alternate. I have no objections to serving in the same capacity. Unless anybody else wants to do it.
I would like to.
Okay, all right, so trustee Schwann. And I guess I could be the alternate. Okay, unless anybody else wants it. Okay, New Unified School District Budget and Finance Committee, currently, it was trustee Canlis and trustee Gonzalez. And then trustee Sean Mallory was the alternate. Meetings are held at the district office or by Zoom, and the meeting dates vary depending on budgetary needs. Is there anybody who's interested in serving on that committee?
I like to remain.
Okay, so. Boss. We need one more trustee.
I would like to.
Okay. Trustee Sean. Okay, and then for New Haven Communication and Advocacy Committee, currently I am on it as well as trustee Mallory. I have no objections staying on it, but it looks like trustee Kumar.
I am interested. I do have a question though. So the
Yes.
first meeting is Thursday, December 8th.
That's in 2 days.
Band concert at IBC for my kids, so
Okay.
what happens that?
Well, I mean, that's fine. That's do we have, I'm just trying to remember what we have on the agenda.
We have a couple items. Is it? John, do we have a meeting? You know, we have a meeting in January scheduled. We could possibly, if we needed to.
January 10th.
We have one January 10th.
Yeah.
If we could probably, is there anything urgent that we would need to meet for? Okay, so we could just, it's up to you. We can find it until January. It's pretty short notice. And there's nothing urgent.
Yeah, there's nothing urgent. I don't mind. So trustee Sean Mallory, would you like to remain on it as well?
Okay.
Good, as in yes or no?
As in no.
Okay, all right. All right, so then I'll be trustee Nishira and trustee Kumar. For communication and advocacy. Okay, and then last is the New Haven Unified School District Policy Review Committee. Right now it's trustee Gonzalez and trustee Sean Mallory.
I would like to stay.
Okay. Okay, it looks like there's 3 people who are interested in it right now. Oh, you want to be the alternative? Okay. All right, so. As alternative. And then- Okay, so it looks like we have. It looks like we have a slate. Let me just review them very quickly before we take a motion. So for AXPA, we've got trustee Sean Mallory as the representative and trustee Gonzalez as the alternate. City Council Subcommittee remains unchanged. CIF will remain to be me. MDROP will be trustee Rafe, and then trustee Nishihira will be the alternate. New Haven Schools Foundation, trustee Kumar will be the primary representative, and trustee Rafe will be the alternate. For the SELPA, trustee Rafe will be the primary, trustee Nishihira will be the alternate. For the Union City Youth Violence Prevention Advisory Committee, trustee Sean Mallory will be the primary, and trustee Nishihira will be the alternate. For the Budget and Finance Committee, trustee Sean Mallory will be the primary. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Trustee Sean Mallory and trustee Gonzalez will both serve on. We'll both serve on the Budget and Finance Committee. For the Communication and Advocacy Committee, trustee Nishihira will remain, and then trustee Kumar will also be primary representative. And then for the New Haven Policy Review Committee, trustee Gonzalez and trustee Sean Mallory will remain as the primary representatives, and trustee Rafe will be the alternate. Did I capture that correctly? Okay. With that, may I have a motion and a second to approve the appointments to standing committees and the board of representatives to other agencies?
So moved.
Okay, so moved by trustee Sean Mallory, seconded by trustee Rafe. Okay, discussion. Yes.
Do we have equity within the trustees on? Does everybody have a committee?
It looks.
Equal representation on that?
Let's see. I don't think that there's anybody who doesn't have an assignment. I guess the question would be that you're really
There's like
asking.
too many, yeah.
Is there anybody who's like overutilized?
Yeah, I mean, I filled it all that, on a minute.
Oh, you have too many?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Here you go.
I'm asking you.
I think 2 to 3 is correct. 2 to 3, because I counted, there's 10, and there's 5 of us. So.
Does anybody feel like they don't have enough, or does anybody feel like they have too much, just based on what I just read off?
Okay.
Because I think it's individual, like some people could take on more, some people could take on less, but I think everybody, the key thing is that if anybody's comfortable with what they've signed up for. Do you have any concerns? Do you think
No, I
you're-
just wanted input. If somebody felt that, they had too many, or they wanted to be on one, I'm willing to, step aside.
Did anybody not get an assignment that they would have really liked? We can talk about that now. Okay, we're good. All right, so we have a motion and a second on the table. We can take it to a voice vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, motion carries. We have a set now. All right. Moving on to item 6.3, date and time of regular board meetings. I'm not going to read out all the dates. May I have a motion and a second to confirm and approve the calendar of regular board meetings for the 22-23 school year?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Okay, seeing no discussion, we will vote by voice. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, motion carries. All right, moving on to 7.1, public comment for topics not on the agenda. Are there any blue cards for topics that are not on the agenda?
Yes, there are.
All right, let's see here. All right, please, okay, I will call on everybody one at a time. Actually, why don't you go ahead and, call your first blue card? You'll have 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna call the person of the lectern and also let you know who's second up. Okay, so you're ready. First up is Juhar Singh. And next, oh boy, yeah, I apologize. I have a hard time reading this writing. Next up will be Yurshan Apal. So Juhar, you're up.
Respected and distinguished members and affiliates of the board. Good to see you all. It's nice to address for the first time the newly sworn in trustees Kumar and trustee Masood. I'm the Bay Area head of the CAD Health and Wellness Program. We are a state-funded nonprofit initiative for high schoolers tackling substance abuse and facilitating health education in our communities. I'm talking about pills, opioids, marijuana, alcohol, tobacco, and vaping. I introduced myself last time at this meeting, and under this program, I have brought with me 10 James Logan High School students who are currently employed as peer advocates against substance abuse in their communities. And I personally work with around 75 additional high school students across the state of California who are also informal interventionists in their high schools. Today, these students will tell you about the importance of keeping substance abuse rates low in our communities and how to stay safe during the nationwide opioid epidemic, which is a crisis that threatens to engulf California as well. Remember, we consider any underage use of non-medical substances as substance abuse, and these high schoolers are fighting to end that through supplemental education, peer advocacy, and informal intervention. By making a public statement today, some of these students will take part in their first dialogue with local government today. I hope their message will resonate with you. I was happy to hear from our superintendent about the California Department of Public Health issuing a standing order for Narcan training to be brought to all public schools. Narcan overdose training saves the lives of those experiencing an opioid overdose. And I hope our urgency in getting all faculty Narcan trained is shared, because all 10 of my interns are Narcan certified and actively prepared for any on-campus emergency. I hope the faculty can relieve them of this responsibility on campus, and more importantly, create an anti-abuse culture and environment for students to prosper in. I hope an action plan comes forth in the near future, and I'm glad to have previously heard from the superintendent that James Logan High School is on track to becoming the first Narcan certified school in the Bay Area. Thank you.
Okay, next up, here we've got, how do you pronounce your name? Can you just say from? Okay, thank you. And then after you is Simran.
Good evening, fellow school board members. My name is Lieutenant Upla, and I am a sophomore at James Logan High School. CAD is a program created by the Chicano movement. It advocates for substance prevention in our community and educates on the dangers, moderate usage, and addiction recovery of drugs. Only in my second year of high school, I have seen an outrageous amount of drug use take place across my campus. Getting the smoke blown from vapes on my face while walking around school, or walking to the bathrooms with a reeking smell of weed is like a daily occurrence. It is unfortunate that this is an ongoing issue in our learning environment. Through CAD, 8 campuses across the state of California are being educated on how my peers and I can become a resource. CAD has taught us about the opioid crisis across the state, fentanyl overdoses, and the significance of being Narcan certified. Thank you.
Okay, Simran, you are up, and then after you will be this way, Manlej. Manlej, is that right? Okay. Sorry, thank you. Go ahead.
Good evening, board. My name is Simran Dillon, and I'm a senior at James Logan High School. I wanted to mention the issue of drug use on our school campus, which has become increasingly common and concerning. I see students using drugs daily on campus, either inside the bathrooms or secretly in classrooms, or even walking around during passing periods with a vape in their hand. It has become common to enter the bathroom and smell marijuana or vapes and other substances that are slowly ruining these young students. Many students are unaware of these drugs, which can be hard to differentiate from, which brings a major risk to the overall health and well-being of the student. Over the past few years, I have been at Logan. I have witnessed students having a near-death experience from overdoses or laced substances. It's necessary to have proper resources and precautions in order to prioritize the health of the young individuals who are leading themselves to eventual death and to save students in case of emergencies. Thank you for your time.
Okay, and then after you're speaking, it'll be Sukir. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Monday Sean, and I'm a sophomore in Reorganization High School. And I want to talk about fentanyl with you guys. Fentanyl is a opioid drug that is 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine. Fentanyl was developed for pain management, treatment of cancer patients, applied in effect on the skin. Because of its powerful opioid properties, fentanyl is also diverted for abuse. Fentanyl is added to heroin to increase its strength or be disguised as heavy potent drugs. Many users believe that they are purchasing heroin and other pills, actually don't know that they are purchasing fentanyl, which often results in overdose deaths worldwide. There is an opioid crisis in the United States, where 1 in 5 pills in California are laced with poisonous fentanyl. Thank you.
Yeah, after Sukir, it'll be Sukhan.
My name is Sukir Paul, and I'm a senior at James High School. And I'm gonna be talking about Narcan. Narcan is a medical drug to treat opioid overdoses with symptoms like breathing difficulties, extreme drowsiness, or being unable to respond. Narcan quickly reverses overdoses by blocking the effects of opioids. It can restore a normal breathing within 2 to 3 seconds. Narcan doesn't cause any damage. It has no potential to cause overdoses or abuse. Narcan is safe to use, and I kindly ask to speed up the process by bringing Narcan to campus.
Okay, after Sukhan, it'll be Pavleen.
Hello, my name is Supam, and I'll be talking about the threats of drug abuse to the New Haven Unified School District. A 2020 study by the California Overdose Surveillance Dashboard reveals that there were about 505 prescriptions for opioids in Alameda County alone. It is important for the public to know about the amount of people that abuse drugs, because people tend to overlook things like substance abuse until they see how many people are being impacted by it. Once they find out how common substance abuse is, they can educate themselves on what their effects are and how they can help people with their addiction. Thank you.
And after you go, it'll be Margaret. I'm sorry, Mehak.
Good evening board. My name is Perlene Carr, and I'm a senior at James Logan High School this year. I'm a second-year intern for the CARE internship. My fellow interns and I have been working to get Narcan certified on our school campus for over the past 2 years. And although there have been some encouraging developments surrounding Narcan on our campus, I can't stress enough how crucial it is for us to start acting right now. We are one of the few school districts left in California who are yet to still implement Narcan on our campus, including elementary, middle, and high schools. By implementing Narcan in our high school first is just a great pathway for our middle schools and elementary schools, since it's so easy to get drugs on hand these days. Every day, students in California lose their lives to overdoses and are given the severe drug problems we have in our classrooms. A student from our school might be the next. I understand that action has already been taken, but it just gives us another reason to act even faster. Although I am aware that it will take time, other districts have completed a similar procedure in a lot less time, and demonstrating that we can also use that to equal or even more superior effort. Interviewing teachers around campus about their opinions on Narcan, me and my classmates have learned that knowing that the school board and existing policies we have, the training will not be implemented. Take, for example, fire alarms, Wellness Wednesday. With the occurrence of fire alarms every single day, in almost every single period,
We might not even leave our classrooms. Wellness Wednesday was supposed to be a procedure that takes the school implementation on every single Wednesday, yet it's been forgotten. And same way it might happen with our Narcan implementation. We should implement the importance of this training to teachers so that it can be taken seriously and start saving lives. Because rules are constantly broken and nothing is being done to address it, teachers have constantly been given up. Not even teachers, but also classmates. I appreciate that you have implemented our proposal already, but we currently lack time and soon will gain access to time and help. Therefore, we should implement as quick as possible. Good morning, or good evening, board. I am a junior at James Logan, and my name is Mahik Madan. I would like to debunk the myths surrounding Narcan. One of the myths being Narcan encourages substance users to abuse substances. In reality, instead of increasing the urge, it actually decreases the urge because it blocks out the effects of opioids. Another myth that pushes people away is that Narcan is expensive and takes away from public funds. Narcan is actually relatively inexpensive. In most cases, health providers actually pay for it. There are also many programs that provide free Narcan. Thank you.
All right, and is dash free.
Hello, my name is Darshni Upal. I'm a senior at James Logan High School. And as you heard, all my peers talk about the statistics and the problems we have and why we need Narcan training in our school. The reality is there's a growing rate of overdoses and usage of drugs in our community. And school-age kids from elementary to high school students are being affected by this. So we're asking you to take action and bring Narcan throughout our schools. I know there's an action taken in place, but we must act faster because there's no reason to not have the life-saving drug at hand. Thank you.
Okay, and our final speaker is NHSA President Joanne.
Good evening, board. Thank you, Lori, for your patience with my speaking card. Appreciate that. Again, Joe Colangelos, President of New Haven Teachers Association. I did want to just say congratulations and welcome to Trustee Kumar and Trustee Rafai on accepting the challenge of leading the district and leadership for continuing education. We look forward to talking with you and moving forward with that discussion. On that same note, I just want to say also thank you to Trustee Mallory and Trustee Gonzalez for their leadership as president and vice president. And of course, congratulations to newly appointed president, Trustee Michiara. Again, we look forward to continued conversation. We have some great things that we've done in past years and recently. We look forward to that continued conversation. So again, congratulations and welcome.
All right. Okay, are there any speakers on Zoom? Speakers, okay. All right, moving on to 8.1, hearing of visitors on topics on the agenda. Do we have any newcomers? There are, okay, any speakers on Zoom? All right, moving on to 9.1. We will have a presentation on the first interim budget for 22-23, and I will turn that over to
Superintendent Thompson, members of the board, Patricia Tao, the Director of Fiscal Services, and I'm here to explain to you the 2022-2023 first interim budget update. Later on in the agenda, the first interim budget update will be presented to you for approval. This presentation provides an overview and highlights of our updated finances for the first interim. I'm not going to read this slide, but this is the education code that we like to provide. It tells us what we need to do, in what prescribed format and by when. We'd like to include this slide to show the budget cycle and the progression over the course of the year. Today, we are updating on the first interim, and we will, as the year progresses, we will move around this cycle. The Legislative Analyst Office issues their report every November. They do not set the budget, the state does, but the report usually provides some clues on what we might see in the January governor's budget proposals. According to that report, they foresee a 25 billion budget deficit heading into 2023-24. Inflation will continue to drag the economy in the near term, and recession is not in their forecast at this point. The LAO also forecasts that COLA is estimated to be 8.73%. This is not surprising given the rise of inflation. If Ms. Heldman were here tonight, she would say COLA, unless funded, does not help us. So the question is, will COLA be funded and at what level? We will hear more about this in January. In their report, the LAO provided some recommendations to the state, given their forecast of a slowing down, not recession yet, but a slowing down of the economy. The next following slides, we will look at our revenue assumptions and our projected budget conditions, plus the 2 years. We are told by the state what factors to use for these line items in our budget. Before LCFF, this was a much longer list, but as you may know, except for some federal programs and a few other funding sources, all were embedded in the LCFF. In terms of local factors, these are the assumptions we are using to calculate our LCFF. It looks like in 24-25, we could exceed the 55% threshold for concentration funds. But we all know that number will change a lot between now and then. And the last line shows are projected in dollars from LCFF over the prior year. Using the factors shown, our LCF revenue for the 2022-23 is about 115.9 million. Compared to 21-22, this is 10.3 million higher, and compared to our adopted budget for 22-23, it's 3.4 million additional funds. I want to spend a little time on this slide. We put this together so we could see the change in our ending fund balance. One significant change that is driving this fund balance is how we closed our books. We closed an additional 1.9 million. When we closed during our unaudited actuals, which was presented in September. The other additions has to do with our additional LCFF revenue of 3.4 million. And everything else was just the ins and outs of balancing the budget. We dropped some salaries because we have vacancies. And anything else that might have come up to change. So now that everything is put together, we will look at our 3-year budget. Look and see what our 3-year budget will look like. Slide 14 depicts what our combined general fund 3-year budget will look like. While slide 15, next one, is just our unrestricted. This is a good budget based on everything we to sustain our current programmatic structure and balance our 3 years for AB 1200 without reductions. Our next budget update will be the second interim in March, which will include the governor's January proposal. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, any questions from the board?
No questions. I just want to say very good job and thank you for presenting to us. I know this isn't your usual thing, but you did very good. Ms. Holman should be very proud of you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Okay. Thank you very much. All right, now we will move to 10.1, items from the board and superintendent. Okay, so do we want to start with our student board members?
Great, hello, I just wanted to, firstly, just say thank you for giving me the opportunity to go to the, CSBA conference in San Diego. I enjoyed the trip with, Ms. Stevens and had a great time networking with other board members. It really was a great, experience and I learned a lot and I just feel like more equipped to, serve this role. And then moving on to like a few updates, like I mentioned in my last meeting, we had our PATA conference, so leadership and I actually came over Thanksgiving break and helped set up for the big event, and then we had a great turnout with numerous high schools and middle schools coming all together and just celebrating. The Logan Band and Color Guard also recently ended their season in November undefeated. Throughout the year, they finished first place in WBA, which is the Western Band Association Regional Championship, and then they went to the state championship in Riverside, and then they finished third. Forensics also had Glenbrooks in Chicago and IE competition with Logan students again winning many awards and placing. And then our winter sports have started their season with games and tournaments taking place. Other than that, we don't have much planned for this month due to having finals, as you all know, which leads me into just an ongoing issue that I just wanted to mention. Mental health. So students have brought up issues and direct like academic factors that have been detrimental to their mental health to me. And we appreciate like the steps that we have taken, Wellness Wednesdays and the Wellness Center. And there are a step towards the right direction, but there are just other things that if I could like work with one of the trustees more closely and work towards like solving that, but or improving that. But other than that. Thank you.
There has been quite a lot this week and previous weeks. First off, there are students in the Equity Mural Council thing. They've been working on ideas to put during the last week and as well as this week on Thursday. They're pretty much just getting out their creativity that has the theme of equity, and then pretty soon we will end up having the a big board to put everything on, and that's pretty much for that. The cafeteria has been transformed into a student lounge by students using the grant from the New Haven School Foundation. As well as the student lounge committee has done a soft opening for the new student lounge. It's kind of like because of the rainy days this past week, and so we kind of did a soft opening for it, and there hopefully we'll have a grand opening by the time we come back from break. This week is also holiday week, which includes ornament decorating, Hanukkah games, cookie decorating, and gift wrapping for toys for tots. There is also hot chocolate being served every day for the rest of the week. This Thursday, alternative ed night at James Logan will be held. The purpose of this is to provide students who are credit deficient with alternative options, such as Connolly, the PLA, or independent studies, so that they can catch up and be able to walk with the rest of their class.
Also, as a result, for our equity walk, now one of our goals is to have a culturally relevant, classroom decoration. And speaking of that, we, have a local artist named Fabiana Rodriguez donated, 24 for posters to our school. And they have been distributed throughout classrooms, and I've seen a couple of them in my classrooms as they go around. Next week is our finals, which are, Tuesdays, Wednesday, and Thursday, after which we will have an end of the quarter barbecue on the last day of finals, and we'll open up to break.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, trustee Rafe. Do you have anything that you'd like to mention?
Like the training that we went to, that was very nice, the SBA. I had a great opportunity to learn a lot of stuff and, great experience. And, with all the time that I learned, like, I thank you, learn more and look forward to implementing that. And, as I was saying, she's working on that and she would like to work with some trustees. It was something that I can work with. I'll be looking forward to that. Thank you.
Okay. Trustee Young.
Thank you, President Nishimura. So let's see, I wrote some things down. I'm gonna go back to last month. On Thursday, November 17th, myself and Dr. Thompson attended a community-led meeting by an organization or community member for Dakota Empowerment, which was held at Our Lady of the Rosary. We had a really great discussion about the needs of the Dakota community and what we can do for our students. There was a lot of emphasis on tutoring services and non-digital communications that was given by the various parents that were in attendance. And then just a general concern about, with the data that we all saw in the equity report, which was that students from Dakota are not performing as well as other students on average and are not being involved in extracurriculars or leadership as much as other students. So that data is all in our equity report card, and we were able to talk about that and say that now we have a plan forward to address these issues. And we have the data to show that things people have been saying about Dakota and everything there are now backed up by data. So that's good, and I look forward to our continued collaboration to continue the conversation. So there's some follow-up there. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving last month, and happy holidays as we go into December. Many holidays happening in this month. So everyone, please stay safe and enjoy your family time. We did all go to CFBA this past weekend, which is the California School Board Association Annual Educators Conference. We get to learn a lot of wonderful things about what other districts are doing that is working well. I attended some sessions on serving our English language learners and reducing the number of long-term English language learners. And I also attended some sessions on mental health, social and emotional wellness, and as well as there were just so many things. I was trying to look it up exactly everything I attended. I did attend one on community engagement and communication. And it's just such a great time. I think we always come back from this conference with so many ideas. What can we do in our district to make things better? And we hear from other education professionals and districts on what they do. So it was just a really great time, and I look forward to all our hearty discussions we'll be having of how to implement some of the ideas that we had during the weekend. And then I will be having my coffee with a school board trustee this Saturday, December 10th at 9 a.m. at the Starbucks on Mission and Tamarack. And I will have a little bit of free group coffee for everyone who wants to attend. And this is a time for the community to come and just speak with me, for me to listen to you about what your concerns, feedback, ideas, anything like that. So please, anyone can come, students, parents, community members, you are all welcome. Starbucks on Saturday. See you there. And that's it.
Trustee Kumar.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to begin by thanking our teachers and staff members as we head into the holidays. Thank you for everything you do for our students. I'd also like to take this opportunity really quick to thank Superintendent Thompson and his staff and the current trustees and the past trustees for making me feel so welcome and providing me with all the support I need to get started. I feel like I'm ready. I also attended the CSBA AEC. Thank you for explaining that acronym. We use a lot of acronyms in education, what I'm learning. I feel very energized after it. I think that's a good word. I attended some really good sessions on mental health, dual enrollment, budget, etc. But my biggest takeaway was from the keynote speaker, Brandon Fleming. He is the author of Miseducated, and that is a book about his story, about how he went from being a drug peddler to a Harvard educator. And he did that only because of love from a teacher. I think that was very inspiring. And with that in mind, I hope to lead with love. And I'm really excited to do it. Thank you.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes, I also attended the conference, and it was great to hang out with everybody outside of the board meeting. And I just want to thank my fellow trustees for allowing me and my family to take those end seats. Sorry for pushing you over, baby priorities. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, it was the first time you met my family. So just about everybody, it was the first time in person. So that was a great experience. So just a couple takeaways from all the sessions. Some of the districts are not like our districts, and so I didn't get a lot out of it. Like Las Virgenes, for example, they encompass Calabasas, their demographics completely different. And anyways, I'm digressing. I would just on that point, I just wish that we had more of like an Alameda calendar than that, where school board members would meet and we could talk, an opportunity more to talk, and mentoring going on there, this networking, that would be good. Well, and one of my breakout sessions, what was really good was talking to some school districts where they have on their agenda to a standing agenda item for labor reports. They don't have to get a speaker card, and one district was saying that but they put us at the end of the meeting, it's 10 o'clock at night and we give our report. And they were just also just advocating either in the middle or the beginning of the meeting to have the labor report, for labor leaders to speak. So, you got your certified, classified, and administrators, leaders giving, 5 minutes to share out all the, it's not about labor negotiation, it's just about reports. It's usually positive, showcasing the work those units are doing and they're proud of. And it just really, if you value our staff, which we do here in New Haven, value them with a little bit of time on the, agenda to speak. And so, I would like for us to have that on our, agenda later on, or have a discussion on our next, agenda to talk about that. You know, I think it's really good. It's not, hearing from them, it's not, they don't use up the whole 5 minutes or anything like that, but it just shows respect. Hey, you know, our door is open. We want to hear from you. What's going on with you. And so that was something positive I got from the meeting. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay. Superintendent Thompson.
A couple things here. First, as I think we heard earlier, good news, once the state issued the standing order for naloxone and Narcan, we had our application ready to go when we submitted it, and we not only got it approved, but we have received the Narcan and have it in our district. Our nurses are working on a training plan, and we're hoping that fairly soon in the new year, we'll be able to get that out and have Narcan on our site. So that's good news. Thank you, students, for your advocacy. The state dashboard, you've heard about it. They've been talking about it for since the start of the school year. They haven't released it yet, but we have released some. We just received some embargo data, so we're taking a look at it. But supposedly the dashboard will be available publicly in December. I'm not sure if they're going to do that or not. It doesn't look like it, but we'll probably shoot for January and having an update on what that means and what that looks like when it comes out. So I don't know, Mr. Thorne, anything I missed on that?
The California Department of Education said that the dashboard would be released sometimes in December without declaring a definitive date.
Okay.
So we're anticipating it sometime within the month.
We'll see if they, you know. Okay, sometime back, I think it was the end of last year, I think it was Trustee Nishihara requested, and with board consensus, a revamping of this room. As you know, the technology is antiquated, the streaming is bad, the lighting's not good, everything's falling apart. And we actually got the first renderings of what this could look like. I just got it today, actually. So we're moving forward slowly but surely. And I'm hoping that we can get this project going fairly soon. We'll have the time around board meetings and all that, but it's moving ahead. And once we get some drafts that we're comfortable with, we can share them at an upcoming meeting so you can see what it looks like. Let's see. Speaking of work, you have in your packet, it's good to take a moment every now and then, and sorry, we don't have anything publicly, but just for the board for you to take a look at. This is from some of the work from our communication and advocacy group was to try to have our logos across the school districts unique, but uniform in the sense that it looks like we're part of a cohesive district. And this is a rendering that you have there of that. We're still working on the VSI, the Code of School Study one. That's the only one that looks like the odd one out, but that will soon be like the rest. So these, I'm hoping that we'll be able to have these as the little ribbon buttons on our website, so you can select school, or you'll be able to see these in any of our publications. So again, capturing the unique character of each school, but giving the sense that we're all one district. And that's again, a lot of good work coming out of our committees, and this is one example. And then finally, I want to thank Tricia for a very nice job. Thank you. I know that's tough to get up in front of the board and deliver a first intro report. And also thanks to Food Services for their food tonight for the reception. They did a really nice job.
Okay. Okay, so I did want to welcome the new trustees, so welcome aboard. Get ready to do some great work. So I also was in San Diego this past week. In addition to the AEC, I also attended the delegate assembly for CSBA. I'm one of the delegates for Region 7B, which is this area here. And at the delegate assembly, that's when a lot of the guts of the governance for CSBA is done. That's when the different regions elect their boards, their board directors. They also elect presidents and vice presidents. They also elect all the at-large directors. So that's the CSBA leadership. Probably more important, but probably less known, is that that's also where the policy platform, that, you know, one of the things that you'll find is that the board ends up getting policy recommendations that come in from CSBA to align to Ed Code. Well, the policy platform is what is actually discussed at those delegate assemblies. And so we actually have conversations and facilitated sessions around what the different delegates want to focus on. I attended one on mental health, as you're starting to sense that mental health is a theme that is acknowledged as being something that we want to address. So a couple of the sessions that I attended, one was on mental health, but it was very specific to the types of mental health and trauma that exist in diverse populations and how they're different. So what mental health looks like in African American communities is different from what's in Latinx communities, which is different from Asian American communities. So mental health looks different, and so it should be culturally and socially responsive to the specific needs. That was something that was very, very interesting. I also attended a session on great boards and how and well-functioning boards. Didn't learn anything there because we are such a well-functioning board. I also attended the Asian Pacific Islander School Board Members Association breakfast. I think two of our trustees were here, or two new trustees were here as well. And that was really good. So I had a great time overall. And that concludes my report. Okay. All right, so moving on to 11.1, the report from the Budget and Finance Committee. Last meeting was held on November 15th. Do we have a report from either member Gonzalez, and member Callis isn't here anymore? So do we have a report?
No, we don't.
No reports. Okay. All right, let's see here. Moving on to 11.2, a report from the Communication and Advocacy Committee. We haven't had a meeting in a while. Our next scheduled meeting was for the 8th, but I think we're pushing it out a little bit further. And then, so we'll talk a little bit more about that then. All right. 11.3, report from the Policy Review Committee. Last meeting was held on November 9th. The policies that were reviewed are on consent for today. So everything that you saw here was reviewed by the Policy Review Committee. All right. Other committee reports. Okay, Trustee Mallory.
Yes, we do not have a hard date yet, but our next AXPA, that's the Alameda County School Board Association, meeting will be in the first week or two of February. And the plan is to meet at the Alameda County Office of Education in Hayward so that our new county superintendent Castro can speak with us. So please look forward to getting you more information by January's meeting, and we'll let you know when it is. But.
Okay, thank you. Any other committee reports? Okay, I will give another committee report for the New Haven Schools Foundation. We met yesterday, and here's some highlights. So we've got a few new scholarships this year for the Pathways to Success Scholarship Program. We have the Yvonne Gibbons scholarship that is new in honor of Yvonne Gibbons, who is an administrator here in New Haven. Also, Coach Webb is starting a Gwen Estes scholarship. And then also Dr. Chong, he's a dentist here in Union City. He is also starting up a scholarship. And so it looks like we're on track to have another banner year. I will continue on with my family scholarship. And let's see here. So the scholarship, I will actually at our next meeting, actually maybe Trustee Kumar will is outline the scholarship timelines, scholarship applications will be hitting, will be available to seniors very, very soon. And then the scholarship luncheon is currently scheduled on 5/17, so May 17 at in the James Logan Pavilion. It's gonna be, timing is gonna be super, super tight, because there's so many conflicting things at the end of the year. I think it's actually that night is, and that day is, I think, there's some AP testing that's happening that time, and also final exams. They're gonna roll right after that, right into the scholarship, luncheon, so that's gonna be, a tight time. Okay, also mark your calendars for January 21st, 2023 for the New Haven Schools Foundation Gala. They're busy right now getting sponsorships and auction items and all of that other fun stuff. And then the last thing that I'll report out is that the foundation board was happy to approve funding for the Kwanzaa celebration that is coming up on 12/13. The foundation will be helping to fund the dinner, and the board approved it unanimously, and happy to help. Okay, that concludes the report from the New Haven Schools Foundation. All right, moving on to 12.1, we've got action items. May I have a motion and second to expel student number 1? I'll move.
Okay.
Discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Okay, 12.2, may I have a motion and a second to approve readmission of student number 2? So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Say no. Abstentions? Motion carries. Okay. 12.3, may I have a motion and a second to deny readmission to student number 3? So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Abstentions? Okay, motion carries. All right, may I have a motion and a second to deny readmission of student number 4? So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Abstentions? Okay, motion carries. Okay, may I have a motion and a second to approve or to receive the to approve the 2022-2023 first interim report? So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Abstentions? Okay, motion carries. 12.6, may I have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of ProCare Solution Beyond the Bell After School Program software? So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Abstentions? Okay, motion carries. 12.7. May I have a motion and a second to approve the new course at James Logan High School beginning fall 2023, inclusion instructional aid? So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Abstentions? Okay, motion carries. 12.8. May I have a motion and a second to approve the contract and the scope of work for University Instructors LLC? So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Okay, abstentions? All right, seeing none, motion carries. And 12.9, may I have a motion and a second to approve the increase to classified substitute pay rate? So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Abstentions? Okay, motion carries. All right, consent agenda items. Do any board members have any items in consent that they'd like to pull for separate vote? Okay. Then, may I have a motion and a second to approve consent agenda items 13.1 to 13.39?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Okay, abstentions? Okay, motion carries. All right, okay, so moving on to 14, nothing was removed from consent, so nothing discussed there. Okay, 15.1. Now this is really good because this is everybody's first meeting. And so this is the point in our agenda where we talk about governance. We talk about how things went, where the things that could have been smoother, the things that we could have done different. And so this is the time for us to maybe possibly do a self-assessment, kind of a very informal self-assessment. But how did everybody feel? Did everybody feel like everything was good? Any improvements?
Good job, President Nishihira. I did want to give a little bit of input. So on the student matters, we would do a roll call vote because our student board members don't vote on student or personnel matters. That's the only feedback I have.
Okay, noted. Suppose we have to give it yours. Okay, well, I thought it went pretty well and great. All right, the next part of okay, so moving on to 16.1. This is the point where if we have work that we would like staff to work on, this is the time where we create requests and we give them to staff to work on. And they're typically, matter of fact, we'll share kind of format that makes them very, very useful because the best thing that we can do to staff is get very clear direction on what we're trying to accomplish. So does anybody have any direction they'd like to give staff? Yeah.
It kind of relates to earlier on to the little pamphlet of our schools. I noticed that besides IVC and the Code School for Independent Studies, Conley Carabello doesn't really have like a sort of mascot like the others, and I just wanted to kind of give a heads up because I will let the school know because I kind of want our school to have a mascot so it represents us well.
I think they're the Warriors, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah.
So these were reviewed by the site, so you should go back to your site and talk to them.
Yes, I plan on doing that.
Okay. Anybody else have any direction for staff? Yes.
I have a request. One of our students who spoke today talked about other students and staff not really knowing about fentanyl and the prevalence of it as being laced into other drugs that might be illegally purchased. So I would like to get information on staff on whether or not we talk about these subjects in our health curriculum and yeah.
Well, they're definitely part of the 9th grade curriculum, but I think she was talking about staff not knowing, wasn't she?
I just know for me, I've seen it a lot in the news, you know, like last month, a bunch of people in New York died from fentanyl overdose when they bought other drugs. So, and so I'm just wondering, I'd like to know how often we talk about it and where it is in our curriculum. And then the next step would, of course, the goal would be to make sure that it is being addressed frequently enough to make sure students know about laced drugs.
All right, so how often we talk about that? Well, it's drugs with students for the consequences.
Yeah. And while we're at it, can I just add black market cannabis cartridges because those are what maybe top one.
I think we should probably get that pretty easily, yeah, okay. Is that, we have consensus on that?
All right, any other board members? Oh, yes. I think you're raising, right, okay. All right, that concludes 16.1. And seeing no further business, we are adjourned.
Nobody leave.
Leave that.